The fall of Raccoon City within Resident Evil still remains the most memorable, catastrophic event in the timeline, to introducing us to characters like Leon and Claire, and then iconic creatures like the Lickers, but personally, there is one more memorable than the rest: the relentless pursuit of Nemesis. My name is Swii, and welcome back to the series where I explain everything that happened in the Resident Evil story so you know everything before Resident Evil 9 comes out early next year. In the last video, I mentioned how the games within the Raccoon City incident are particularly important due to Resi 9 returning to Raccoon City. In Resi 2, we enter the city as Leon and Claire and discover the collapse has already begun. The streets are already full of zombies and most people have already died. So Resi 3 begins roughly 24 hours before, when the city is in full panic and pandemonium, where Resi 2 concludes on the morning of September 30th, 1999, Resi 3 concludes on October 1st. So not only do we get to see what happens before 2, we also get to see the conclusion of the city after as well. We also return to a fan favorite. The main character in Resi 3 is Jill Valentine. She was one of the main characters in Resi 1, so I highly recommend watching my Resi 1 video first if you haven't, just to get the beginning of her story. And quickly before we fully get into it, this is the Resi 3 remake. There is a lot of disappointment around the remake as it is a very short game in comparison to all the other remakes. It is missing a huge amount of content and like locations from the original, and it all felt very rushed production-wise. I understand a lot of the fan disappointment, though I still like the Resi 3 remake. But I like anything with Jill Valentine in it. So if you want a video on the original RE3, let me know, as the OG and the remake are quite different, and the version we're going over today is unfortunately, again, missing a lot of content the original had. Anyway, let's get into Resident Evil 3.
This pandemic has spread faster than any disease in modern history.
Angry mobs roam the city, burning buildings.
Authorities are bracing for more rioting tonight.
He was knocked unconscious. He had some
citywide emergency has been declared.
The CDC has quarantined the lower Midwestern region of the U.S.
Commitment, honesty, integrity, these are the core values that create the foundation for Umbrella. It's this foundation that will continue to build a brighter future for all of us.
So we wake up as Jill and spot her badge and iconic beret on the shelf. Looking around, she has a crime board up on her wall covered in evidence and clues. We can hear running water coming from her bathroom. Turning off the tap, we see drops of blood. The age-old nightmare fake out.
Gets worse every night. 3 more days, then I can kiss this town goodbye.
So before we move on, looking around her apartment, we see little notes like the worst month of my life amongst other things. At this point, Jill is on administrative leave. So after the mansion incident, the surviving members of STARS requested a full-scale investigation of Umbrella, which was ultimately denied by Irons. Of course, we know why after finding out Irons is involved in RE2. So in the guidebook Biohazard 3 Last Escape, quick note here, in the original Japanese releases, the series as a whole is called Biohazard, not Resident Evil. Anyway, so in Biohazard 3 Last Escape, we learn the surviving STARS members are trying to do something about Umbrella, only to be stonewalled and have all of their reports buried by Irons. So this leads into Chris Redfield investigating Irons and finding all about his horrific past with numerous incidents of him assaulting young women. We learn all of this from a fax in the original RE2, which doesn't happen in the remake, but I think it's safe to assume it's still accurate given all of the other stuff that Irons does. So simultaneously to investigating Irons, the team begin their own plans into investigating Umbrella. But Umbrella have put them all under surveillance, severely restricting their activities. So Chris heads to Europe to continue his investigation there, while Barry relocates his family to Canada, and Jill plans to shake off Umbrella's surveillance by leaving the city. So she wants to lead them into thinking she's gone for good, only to return later undercover. Of course, all these plans get ruined when the city becomes infected. So back to Jill's apartment, it's confirmed she's on suspension from a letter on her investigation wall. It reads, "It's already been 2 months since that mess with Umbrella. Thanks to the suspension, investigations haven't progressed exactly as I'd hoped. Perhaps this written record of what I found will prove to be my final duty as a STARS officer. I can only hope that this leads to the truth. The T-virus. Those infected with this virus seem to become literal zombies. It appears to be communicable via several different avenues outlined below. Bite from an infected individual, allowing the mixing of bodily fluids, contact with crows which have been eating infected carrion, and due to the strength of the virus, airborne infection cannot be discounted." It should be noted that those who survived the incident have not yet developed symptoms. It's unclear whether this is because the virus has a long incubation period or because we just happen to be resistant to the infection. We ought to remain vigilant even after this investigation period ends. As for me, aside from my minor sleeping difficulties, I seem to be in fine shape. Still, I shouldn't get too hopeful. After all, this could just be an extended incubation. Given that note, the numerous medications around, and her nightmares, it's clearly shown Jill has suffered severe trauma from the mansion incident, and she's paranoid she's infected and going to turn at any moment. Here we also get a catch up on Umbrella, how they engineer military and bioweapons while maintaining their cover as a pharmaceutical company, while we also get a mention of the mansion incident 2 months prior, and notes on Umbrella's large donations to the mayor's office and their control of the entire city. Next to the board, we find a letter written from Jill herself. It reads, "They've got me pinned down at home. Guys across the street are watching me from their window 24/7. Are they Irons' men? Umbrellas? I don't know, but there's no real difference anyway. I know what they're trying to do. They want to wear me down. torment me into compliance. And it's working. I'm barely eating, barely sleeping. I'm going crazy. I feel like the living dead. But I won't let them win. I have to get out of the city and find a way to make them accountable. They'll send someone to silence me, of course. If you hear that I've been killed, or whatever it is they do to people like me, you must pick up the investigation where I left off. I've enclosed my files. They'll tell you everything you need to know, as long as this package isn't intercepted. I'll be moving out at night. 5 days. Wish me luck. Finally, on a table nearby next to a pizza is one last note. It reads, "To Jill Valentine. Hey hotshot, how you holding up? I still can't believe Iron suspended you. It's such bullshit. They ought to pin a medal on you for making it out of that hellhole back in July. Of course you're gonna poke around and ask questions about it. I hope you're not mad at me for keeping my head down. Everything's been happening so fast. The Stars was the pride and joy of the Force. When the chief disbanded us out of nowhere, I thought for sure I was gonna lose my job. Word has it you're planning on leaving Raccoon City? I figured you wouldn't take the suspension lying down. Just promise to watch your back. Umbrella won't sit by while you try and dismantle their business. Take care, Jill. Brad Vickers, Stars Alpha Team, now and forever." I had to slip this message to the pizza guide to avoid detection. Enjoy the extra large Mega Meat Supreme. It's on me and the guys. So all these notes confirm that Stars were trying to do something about Umbrella, but they were stonewalled by Irons, and now they're all under investigation, with Stars ultimately being disbanded. So Jill, similarly to her nightmare, heads into the bathroom, turning off the faucet, and stares at herself in the mirror, likely checking for signs of infection. We are shown a title card saying September 28th, 8:07 p.m. Leaving the bathroom, suddenly we can hear a phone ringing.
Who could that be? Hello?
Jill, are you okay?
Brad, is that you?
Listen, you gotta get out of there.
What are you talking about?
I don't have time to explain. You gotta get out of there right now.
All right, let me grab my...
This is Nemesis.
What the hell is that thing? What the hell? No way.
Hell of an opener, huh?
Jill? Over here!
Brad!
So to refresh your memory a little bit, since it's been some time, this is Brad Vickers. Brad was Alpha Team's pilot in RE1, the same one that dropped the rocket to defeat the Tyrant. He and Jill are the only STARS members within the city currently. And if you were paying attention a moment ago, Nemesis yelled out the only word it can. STARS.
You okay?
What was that thing?
Damned if I know. But right now it's got a hard-on for the only 2 stars left in town. You and me. I'm not sticking around. Just look around you. The longer we wait, the more screwed we are.
How did this all happen so fast?
I don't know. One fucked up thing always leads to another. It's like Arklay on steroids.
That little callback to Arklay, the Arklay Mountains, which is the mansion incident. Ah, big fan.
Hey! Hey, wait! Down here! Damn it!
We've got to be dreaming. How could this many people be infected? Brad! Here they come!
In here!
There's so many.
Door behind you, go!
Don't think about it. We're gonna make a run for it.
Come on, Jill. We know how this ends.
No, I don't.
Are we still a team?
Always.
Then do me a favor. Don't fuck up like I did. Go!
I'm sorry, Brad.
So R.I.P. Brad. We will come back to his final fate a little later on.
Sorry.
So finally being armed, we continue through the city, mayhem and pandemonium galore.
Down there! Get to the parking garage roof!
Parking garage. Got it. Sir, are you all right?
Stay back! Don't come any closer!
Hey, come on. There's a helicopter waiting to take you to safety.
What safety? I'm not going out there!
The parking garage isn't far. I can
The
take
only safe place is in here!
So this guy is an author named Dario Rosso. In the original, we see a bit more of him, and this is more of a callback in the remake. He was in town on business, staying at the Apple Inn, which is where Resident Evil Outbreak takes place. His mother, wife, and daughter were all killed in the chaos, and he is a lone, terrified survivor that runs into Jill, and they hunker down in the warehouse waiting for a horde of zombies to pass. So once they do, Jill urges them to leave since there's no help coming for them. But Dario, terrified of leaving, refuses and locks himself in a shipping container, saying he'd rather starve to death than be eaten.
Okay, we've got to get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there! How dare you tell me to go back outside?
I'm sorry about your daughter, but there isn't gonna be any rescue. We have to get out of here!
No! I'm not going anywhere! I'd rather starve to death in here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters! Now leave me alone!
We can return to this location and we find his body on the ground, showing that the warehouse wasn't a secure location and Jill would have shared his fate if she also decided to stay. So in the remake, we never return here, so we don't find out what happens to him, but I think it's safe to assume he was dealt a similar fate. I've never been in a shipping container. Is it even possible to lock them from the inside? Surely someone watching this knows. I don't. Anyway, you can stay here at the container to keep bugging him for a bit to get some extra voice lines. Most people just leave him immediately. I did.
Sir, what's your name? I can't just leave you behind.
It's Dario Rosso. And yeah, right. You just want to steal my safe house. Get your own, Missy.
Missy? Would you please calm down? I'm a police officer. I'm here to help.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've been doing a bang-up job. You want to help? Go handcuff yourself to one of those freaks.
Sir, this is your last chance. No one else is coming for you.
I'm not going anywhere. I'd rather starve to death than here than be eaten by one of those undead monsters. Now leave me alone. There! She's trying to kill me! Stop that! You're gonna hear from my lawyer! Stop that! My brother-in-law is a lawyer!
Lawyers in the apocalypse. Sure, man. Anyway, we move forward, moving to the roof for the helicopter. Here we pass familiar dogs and even more zombies. I love seeing the full chaos of the city. I also want you to know that that jump scare scared the hell out of me the first time I played it.
Fucks.
Stop! So always give these ones an extra stab for me. So finally, we make our way to the roof for extraction.
Damn it!
The blah music when Nemmy walks forward, my favorite.
It's my turn, bitch!
Don't ask me how she survived that crash. The answer is simply she's Jill goddamn Valentine. The way Nemesis catches the rocket is just so damn cool. Can you tell I really like Nemmy? And also welcome to my husband, Carlos. If anyone knows a man who is single and looks and acts like Carlos, introduce us. The best thing the remake ever did was bring us updated Carlos. My goodness. Anyway, back to Jill and Carlos.
Hey, easy, lady. I got you.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Name's Carlos, and I'm saving you. Come on, let's get you someplace safe. I think we're in the clear.
Hope so.
We've been bringing survivors here.
Here where?
My guys have converted some subway cars into a shelter. It's safe.
I'm fine.
Personal space. Okay, I get it. Let's go. Oh, come on. Who's the dipshit that closed this? Sorry, we're gonna have to go around.
Hey, what do you know about that monster?
Nothing. I've never seen anything like it. But it's no zombie. It knows what it wants and won't stop till it gets it. Don't you like that in a man?
No thanks. He's all yours.
Listen, I promise you're in good hands. I'm with the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service. UBCS for short.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You guys are the ones who caused all of this!
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking about? Look, we're just here to help people. What's wrong with Umbrella?
What's wrong with Umbrella? Oh my god. Your company is responsible for infecting everyone!
Yeah. I don't know anything about all that. But you don't have to trust me. But I'm going to the shelter. You coming? Come on. It's this way.
So let's go over Carlos real quick. So his full name is Carlos Oliveira and he is a mercenary for Umbrella. Carlos and his team were rescuing civilians and escorting them to a train that they had fixed to evacuate them from the city. So currently, Carlos is unaware of Umbrella's crimes. Remember, STAR's investigations were all stonewalled and the mansion incident was only 2 months ago. He has no idea who he's really working for. So in the original, he looked far different and his backstory has a lot of gang violence. So he was the 5th of 7 brothers, with his 2 older brothers being killed by street gangs. As a child, he was already committing armed robbery by age 7. Around age 10, he was robbing a nationalist paramilitary group who captured him, and he was ultimately saved by a communist group. Through his teens, he was trained by this group, being a prominent guerrilla leader who was an expert in Soviet heavy weapons. So later on, Carlos was then captured by an anti-guerrilla operation. Around that same time, Umbrella were creating ways to contain the threat of their bioweapons, leading them to create their own private military. So Sergei Vladimir, who you only really meet in the Umbrella Chronicles, was tasked with putting together a team. He was looking for people with military and paramilitary training who were unwanted by their home countries. Umbrella bribed their governments to release such people to bring them in as Umbrella's Biohazard Countermeasure Service members, UBCS for short. In the remake, we don't really get any of their background with Carlos, so I can't say for certain if this is still his background. He's still skilled with the same things like heavy weapon, helicopter piloting, so I see no harm in assuming that his background is still the same. It's not a huge deal because ultimately, Carlos is unfortunately another member of the Resident Evil Curse Club, where we only really see him as a proper character in this game and never again. He makes cameos and is mentioned in notes every now and then, but RE3's really it. So anyway, let's meet the rest of his surviving team. Also, a quick note to these posters referencing Alien and Terminator. There's a surprising amount of hidden references in this game. If you want like a things you missed video, let me know.
Hey, Captain. This fine young lady could use our help.
Carlos, you didn't even think to ask fine young lady her name? She is an elite operative of RCPD, Special Tactics and Rescue Service. Her name is something Valentine.
It's Jill.
Nice to meet you, Jill. I am UBCS Platoon Leader Mikhail Victor. My team was sent here to rescue civilians.
Right. How's that going for you?
The city is completely cut off, isolated. Most of the 100,000 civilians will wind up dead. Correction, undead. My platoon has suffered serious losses. Just keeping them alive is more than I can manage.
Well, you can thank your corporate overlords for that.
Yes. Well, we are doing all we can. If we can get this subway train moving, we can evacuate some survivors. But we need help. My men cannot do this alone.
All right. I'm in. But I am on their side, not yours.
Oh, hey. It's cool. We all want the same thing.
Thank you, Jill.
All right, Super Cop. Here you go. We can use this to stay in contact.
I know what a radio is.
Jill is so sassy to Carlos in the beginning of this game.
Okay, first things first. We need to get you geared up. Head up to street level. You'll find supplies there.
All right.
So heading up the stairs, we find a newspaper. It reads, "In the grey of the morning on September 25th, a frantic caller phoned the RPD to report an assault. A man described as disheveled like a vagrant was attacking a passerby north of the Lambs Museum of Art. The responding officers discovered the mutilated corpse of a woman by some dumpsters nearby. Dozens of bite marks cover her body and she had been dismembered, suggesting she had been eaten. The third known incident of its kind to occur in Raccoon City this month. So who done it? Who's been munching on man steak? We here at the News Comment have a gnawing feeling that the so-called cannibal disease patients that Spencer Memorial have been providing free treatment for since August might not be settling for just the cafeteria food. Our reporters have infiltrated Spencer Memorial, asked the tough questions, and come back with horror stories that'll make your stomach roil. Turn the page for the scoop. I like how there's all these little snippets of people slowly getting infected. It feels really realistic. So moving up, we make a game plan with Carlos. Here we find a room full of supplies, so in video game terms, it's hinting at the absolute chaos ahead.
Jill, it's me again. You topside yet?
Working on it. So what's the plan?
The old tanks got me clearing the tracks. You mind getting the subway infrastructure back online?
And how do I do that?
Let's start by restoring power. I'll navigate you to the substation once you hit the main road.
Copy that. Let's do this fast. We're survivors. We've got to get that train moving.
Heading further down the streets of Raccoon City, we come across waves of zombies. Some were civilians and some in police uniforms. I've always wondered if Jill knew some of these people. Like, she wasn't a standard officer, she was STARS, but she still might have known them in passing? Anyway, making our way to the end of the street, we can see a massive fire.
Carlos, I've reached the main avenue. Which way do I go?
See a big transmission tower? That's the substation. You'll have to circle around through an alley to your right to get there.
You mean the alley that's on fire?
Maybe. Surely a tall drink of water like yourself can put out a few flames.
Fuck you.
Carlos's floating would fully work on me. I can't even lie. So staying in one place too long is a bad idea. Thankfully, someone conveniently placed these massive flame barrels around. So clearing a path, we head towards the donut store. We pick up some more supplies and head towards the subway office. There's a lot of stores here with lots of supplies, safes, collectibles, but there's not a lot of story that really happens in them, so we're just gonna beeline forward. So in the subway office we find a fire hose, exactly what we need to put out that fire to get to the transmissions tower. So backtracking while killing a ton of zombies, we put out the fire.
There.
In here, we find some bolt cutters and hear suspicious noises in the next room.
Is someone in here? You're UBCS?
Yeah, careful, careful. Come on, don't look at me like that, all right? I'm not infected. No, wait, please!
What the fuck?
He was infected.
He might have been infected.
Oh, stars, this soft. No wonder so many of you dead.
And what are you, UBCS? Killing your own people?
He would have turned. There's your sense of self-preservation. Go back to the subway station. We don't need a bleeding heart like you getting in the way.
Welcome to Nikolai Zinoviev. We will get more into him later on. On the body of the UBCS soldier, whose name is Murphy Seeker, if you were wondering, is a training diary log. It reads, July 10th. Suck it, prison. The Umbrella Corporation just recruited me for a job. A job? I don't know how they're gonna wipe out a life sentence for murdering 20 gangbangers, but whatever. I'll take it. Beat shitting away the rest of my days behind bars. I gotta get back into shape. July 26th. Caught the chain yesterday and got moved to a UBCS training camp where I fired my first bullet in 2 whole years. Missed the stationary target by 5 inches at 400 yards. I never fucking do that. It's like I forgot everything. Doesn't matter. I'll get sharp again. Watch me. August 15th. Okay, I've got my group shooting down to 3 inches, feeling good. After lunch, they put me through my first mock battle. The Cap and the other guys are pretty good people, and goddamn beasts of war at that. But what the fuck is up with that lunatic Nikolai? He used me as a human fucking shield just to score some extra points. September 25th. Murphy's back, baby. You'll never see me miss another target. Tomorrow, I go on my first mission, riot control in Raccoon City. I think Jimmy would have liked that. My brother was always the first to reach out and help people, right up until those street punks took him away from me. Now it's my turn to do some good for a change, the way I know best. This diary makes me feel a bit more confident in assuming Carlos's original background is still true, showing that Umbrella was recruiting skilled people, criminals or not, who were unwanted by their home countries. This also gives us a little hint to the type of person Nikolai is. So moving forward in the same direction as Nikolai, we come across a ton of blood in the street. If you don't go to the right here, you can miss this UBCS soldier and his note. It reads, September 28th, the Middle East, Eastern Europe, East Africa. I thought I knew what hell was. Figured I'd never crack, no matter what was thrown at me. But this job, this one was supposed to be easy. A quick wage. I'd earned it. It all happened at once. There were 30 guys in our squad, all armed with state-of-the-art assault rifles, and yet we were wiped out in less than 48 hours. I've been through enough shit to know it only gets worse, and if that was just the beginning, maybe I'm a coward. I don't care. This is the only way I have left. I just hope my body doesn't get back up after I pull the trigger. Even the UBCS are going through it in Raccoon City. Everyone's just having a terrible time. Heading back to the left, we find Electrician's note. It mentions how there are electric generators running through the city, and if they were to be struck or hit by gunfire, anyone nearby would be electrocuted. Good to know. Moving forward, we hear dogs growling. It wouldn't be a Resi game without zombie dogs. Nearby is one of those generators we just learned about, so we can easily deal with these ones, thankfully. So we pass over smashed cars, destroyed police vehicles, and plenty of zombies to eventually end up at the substation. We pop a few more zombies and work our way upstairs. Here we find a note. It says, "To all employees, in response to the violent outbreak across the city, we have implemented an internal power outage. Once the situation has been brought under control, please activate the 4 breakers ASAP. Once that's done, turn on the main power switch in the control room to reactivate the power grid." Like, I suppose Umbrella wanted to shut down the city, but still cutting power off everywhere? Anyway, so we need to turn the power back on by activating those breakers. Looking up at the substation, it's just covered in stuff.
Oh, it smells like... Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Here we read a note that reads, "Green herbs, they work." It was starting to look like Chad was never gonna come back from his round, so I poked my head in there. And fuck me, next thing I know, I've got some kind of maggot squirming down my throat. I was gagging and heaving, but those little bastards didn't seem to mind none. They just wouldn't come up. I was staggering around like a madman, and then I saw it. A green herb. My grandma once told me that green herbs are a natural bug deterrent, so I grabbed one, shoved it down my gob, and swallowed. And what do you know? The little things didn't want to be in there anymore. I've never been so happy to throw up. I'm gonna head back out there and look for Chad. If anyone else sees this, remember, eat your greens. If that's not a warning for something super gross coming up, I don't know what is. Unfortunately, the way forward is locked with a note on the wall saying, "The key to the high voltage area has gone missing. A lockpick will be provided to the senior employee on duty. We only have one and cannot afford to lose it, so please keep it in its carry case at all times when you're not using it." Conveniently enough for us, at the end of the room there is a body holding a suspiciously convenient box. Lockpicking our way in, a suspicious sound is heard behind us.
Get it out!
I hate these things. Welcome to the drain, Deamos. Deamos. I've only ever seen it written down, not said out loud, so I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm just gonna wing it. Anyway, these awful things were derived from blood-sucking insects. They tend to depend on human cerebrospinal fluid, which they extract through a needle-like body part, kinda like a mosquito. They extract without restraint, resulting in the victim's brain and nervous system suffering, resulting in death. Now, unfortunately for us, the super gross part is one of their methods of reproduction. So these things are ovipositors, which means they force their way into their victim's body, in our case via the mouth, and deposit in a large amount of larvae. They then gestate within the victim's stomach until they develop and burst out. Kind of like another way cooler monster we know. What kind of luck was that? However, thankfully, green herbs agitate the larvae, and consuming one afterwards results in all of the larvae being forcefully removed out the way they went in. Disgusting. Anyway, we head in to flip the breaker switches. This place is a little maze-like, but thankfully the Drain Deamos always spawn in the same spot, and it's not too confusing, so running through here gets easier each time you do it. I won't subject you to more gross footage of this area, so we flip the breakers and get the hell out of here.
Okay, all that leaves is the main power switch. Enjoy that.
it smelled bad before, I wonder how it smells slightly barbecued now.
Carlos, it's Jill. I've restored power to the subway.
Nice going. Next up is the traffic control system. It should be in the subway company's offices.
Right. I think I know the building.
Really? Way to go, partner. One step ahead.
Not your partner.
So we start heading back to the subway building, which was the same building we picked up the fire hose from. And Nemmy's back. When I said his pursuit was relentless, I meant it. Throughout the game, in specific parts similar to the OG, if we manage to stun Nemmy, he drops these supply crates with weapon upgrades. I know a lot of content from the OG was cut in the rush production, so I'm so glad they kept the reward for kicking his butt. Oh, sorry.
Carlos! That thing is still alive! It's after me!
What? Run! Come back to the station!
Not until I get traffic control online.
So Nemmy will not leave you alone running through here, and he is fast. Unlike Mr. X in Resi 2, who became more of a nuisance you could just walk around, Nemmy will get pissed and he will sprint. So make sure to use those electric generators around to stun him for a bit, and remember to dodge. Also, unlike Resi 2, safe rooms with Nemmy aren't always safe. With his tentacle, if you are too close to the door, he can and will whip pull you out of them. I've seen footage where he can enter the garage safe room during one of the chases. I've personally had him enter the donut store safe room. The running theory is these are actually bugs. Like, the game considers these rooms as done since the story has you progressing on. But similar to me, people who backtrack for item collection achievements have had him enter these rooms because the game doesn't expect you to come back this far. I would have loved it as like a 20% chance he enters all safe rooms like the whole way through the game to make it scary, but unfortunately this one is a bug, so just be a bit careful if you backtrack or stand too close to the door. Oh, we're in spring. And I am suffering. So back to where we were, repairing the subway. With it now powered on, we can now enter the control room and reset the train's route.
Carlos, I'm in the control room. Now what?
Nice. Now you gotta plot out a route.
Okay, give me a sec.
This is a pretty easy puzzle just by looking at the map on the back wall, and you can easily plan it out.
Valid route confirmed.
Carlos, it's me. I finished inputting the subway route.
Jill, you are amazing. Tough as nails, too. Hurry back to the station. We'll make sure the subway's ready to depart.
What the fuck?
So this is the Nemesis Alpha Parasite Zombie, or NE Parasite for short. I'll explain them in a moment. So heading back to the donut shop and exiting the front, we see Nemesis infecting a zombie, turning it into the NE Parasite, which I'm sure like 99% of you guessed given the name, how it looks, but I'll explain it anyway. So Nemesis is able to infect zombies with its own parasite. This results in the zombie's skull being encased in a helmet-like biomass and obtaining a tentacle much like Nemesis. Since the helmet is its defense and incredibly tough, the shotgun is the best weapon to pop these things. I'll also get into Nemesis and the NE Parasite in a little while. A little mystery around him for now's fun. So needing to get away from Nemmy and the growing amount of NE zombies, we leg it back to the train station to try and get the hell out of here. Usually receiving a good few punches on the way. Here, we can do some collection puzzles, get some more ammo, and then we head down to Carlos.
Nice job, Super Cop. I'm impressed.
We back in business?
Yeah, mostly. But we need 30 to 40 minutes to finish maintenance. Nikolai, how are we doing?
The town's crawling with those freaks. No chance of fighting our way out of the city. Why is she here?
She's helping get the trains running again.
Bad time to start carrying dead weight for her. She's unreliable. Can't pull the trigger when it counts.
Hey, take it easy.
She'll get you killed.
Sorry about that. Everyone's a little worked up. Oh, come on. Not again.
It's me he's after.
Hey.
I'll buy you some time.
Hey, wait! Wait, Joe! No! Damn it!
Run time.
Come on, you creepy ass stalker. You want stars? I'll give you stars.
If you have the ammo, it's worth laying into him here for another weapons upgrade. Otherwise, you could just run using the generators and the explosives around to stun him, giving you time to get the vent open.
Now's my chance. Ah! Carlos, do you copy? Carlos! Oh, shit. Oh, I need to find another way out.
Ah, the sewers. Can't have a Raccoon City game without ending up in the sewers at some point, apparently. Slowly working our way through, we hear...
Oh, what was that?
We didn't hear anything like that in RE2 down here, so this is new. We end up at, well, a shocker, a locked door. This one is specifically an electronic lock, so we need a special battery to get it open. Now knowing what we're looking for, we head further into the sewers.
Oh, God. I'm definitely burning these clothes.
Good choice, Jill.
What the fuck was that?
Welcome to the Hunter Gamma. So the Hunter Gammas are a model of Hunter the European branch made from information given by America's Hunter Alpha. They're also an extension of Dr. Marcus's failed amphibian BOW, the Lurker from RE0. If you don't remember the Hunter Alphas, there were these awful things from Resi 1. So the Hunter Alphas were developed by grafting reptilian DNA to a fertilized human embryo, bonding them together with the T-virus. The Hunter Gamma is the same process in reverse. So human DNA bonded with a fertilized animal embryo, but instead of reptilian, the European branch went with amphibian spawn. Unlike the Hunter Alpha, the Hunter Gammas were deemed impractical for combat as they are sensitive to heat and vulnerable to attack when their mouths open. So Umbrella ordered the destruction of all of the Hunter Gammas. However, one such Umbrella researcher became emotionally attached to the Hunter Gammas, defying the destruction order. He bribed the sewer manager in Raccoon City to allow him and his associates space to continue their research down here. Of course, with the destruction of Raccoon City, these things are running amok down here. At the end of one of the tunnels, we find a body and some notes. It reads, "It happened again. They got Kane this time. I saw it all. One of those things just swallowed him whole, head to toe. I tried to warn them when Bill went missing 2 weeks back. The cop said he probably skipped town, but I said no way, not with his baby coming any day. But did they listen? Nope. This is bullshit. Fucking puke-breathing, toad-faced motherfuckers. Every time I think I've lost them, another one pops out of the tunnels. And it's not like I can count on the fucking cops. Don't trust those pencil pushers at HQ either. The next time one of those freaks shows its face, I'm gonna hit it right in its big ugly mouth." So from this we can confirm only the sewer manager knew about the Hunter Gammas, and some unfortunate workers down here have been killed by them prior to the city's destruction. We just have to make sure Jill doesn't add to that list. So moving on down here, we run into numerous hunter-gammas. The best tactic is to wait till they open their mouth for that vulnerability. Just don't get grabbed. After killing a few, we eventually stumble into the Umbrella Lab. Here we find the electronic key battery and a disturbing love letter. It reads, "My little darlings, it's already been 3 months since we fled here together. I find myself thinking back to the day you hatched. Your little voices made me tremble with pride. Your adorable little bodies brimming with that incredible destructive power. And of course, that vivacious, insatiable appetite. You are no less than the pinnacle of the Hunter series, and yet they ordered me to destroy you. They said that you were unfit for a weapon because of a few minor vulnerabilities. So what if you're susceptible to heat? So what if your delicate mandibles are exposed when you feed? Haven't they ever heard of character flaws? It's in those very flaws that make you so very, very precious to me. We'll show them yet. Down here, we'll continue to walk this evolutionary path together. We'll prove to Umbrella that you, my beloved hunter-gammas, are truly superior." Well, anyway, moving on. So working our way back through the sewers to the locked electronic door, we take out a few more precious hunter-gammas and end up in another safe room. Here, we find some more documents about the research on the hunter-gammas. We learn about Umbrella shutting down the research facility, resulting in a few people smuggling out some potential specimens, with Dr. Logan Carlyle especially committed to the research. That he sure is. So the note continues saying, August 14th, 2 weeks since relocating to the sewers. Increased temperatures have led to a decrease in water quality, but specimens appear fine despite my concerns. Gammas quickly learn the layout of the sewers, and within 2 days we're exploring the entire underground of Raccoon City. All specimens are familiar with and friendly towards us, but I have procured high-powered weaponry as a safeguard in the event that they become uncontrollable. September 1st. We were lucky to secure this place by bribing the sewage department chief, but it's beginning to feel cramped due to the Gamma's continued growth. We should begin to consider other possible arrangements. September 9th. A water treatment worker found his way into the lab, but the Gammas promptly eliminated him. This proves their viability for field use. I'll reach out to Umbrella's European branch tomorrow. Perhaps they will see the light. So the Gammas were running amok under Raccoon City for weeks before the outbreak. And remember, these things have T-virus in them. A breakout was bound to happen in RC one way or another. These notes too keep mentioning Umbrella's European branch. Keep a pin in them for a bit. We will be coming back to the European branch a good few more times. In this room, we also come across an invoice from Gun Shop Kendo. Yes, that very same Kendo from RE2, with the sweet, sweet words of thank you for purchasing the grenade launcher. Thank God. So this is a custom-built one that can fire explosive, flame, acid, and mine rounds. Though we don't get any mine rounds here due to them being useless against the Gammas, so the researchers never purchased any. But that's no big deal, we finally have a nade launcher. Mwah! So moving onward upward through the sewers, we of course feed the Gammas a few tasty flame rounds, and finally get back to the OG locked door and move forward out of the sewers.
Carlos, can you hear me now?
Jill! Oh, thank God. Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm alive. I lost him.
Great. The subway's ready to go. We'll leave as soon as you make it back.
Yes, that's a flamethrower.
use weapons?
Now with Nemmy wielding weaponry, we have to go, and fast. We mad dash up to the roof with Nemmy yelling out his first and only word he knows as he sets fire to the entire building.
I gotta get out. Quick.
Here we come across a save and a storage chest. Sus. Here we also find a note about a demolition delay mentioning how for safety, the generators have been moved to the roof. The same generators we were stunning Nemmy with earlier. With the world's biggest hints of a boss battle about to happen, we head up the ladder and onto the roof. So this fight's pretty simple, we just need to damage Nemmy as much as we can. His weapon will overheat and go down on cooldown periodically. This is your best moment to lay as much ammunition into him as possible.
Maybe I can hit the fuel tank.
As Jill suggests, his fuel tank should be your target as it's easy to explode. If you're struggling with this fight, stun Nemmy with the generator, then lay into his fuel tank. You can also just hug corners and lay into him. It's not a very hard fight, but it does get bright as hell, so if you don't do well with bright lights, might I suggest the Swii fit.
My eyeballs. Wait. That's actually better.
Yes, when I'm not using the infinite rocket launcher and I have to do this fight the proper way, I look like that every single time. Anyway, after DBD style looping him for a little bit and laying into him enough, with a commentary from Nemmy, he should collapse. Don't ask me how that fall didn't kill her or break her spine. If Leon can do it, she can, because she's Jill goddamn Valentine.
Carlos, it's Jill. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. You all right?
Yeah. Bastard's dead.
Good. Fuck him. What were you thinking? Turning yourself into bait. You could have been killed.
Don't start. I did what I had to.
I know. And thanks. The subway's ready to go. Hurry back.
Needing to head back to the subway, we move forward up and over a fire truck and end up in a familiar street. RPD is to the right with Kendos shop straight forward, just how it was in RE2. A fun Easter egg here as well, when you jump down and listen to this car radio.
We've located 3 injured civilians. Transporting to Spencer Memorial now. RPD dispatch, this is 153. I'm trapped in North Garden with 3 civilians. West side, cafeteria, back of the kitchen. One of us is injured and immobilized. Please advise.
This is a character from Resident Evil Outbreak, which again is the game that Alyssa, who's from RE9 is from. The person talking here is Kevin, an RPD officer, and is talking about transferring 3 survivors to Spencer Memorial Hospital. This is a reference to the hospital scenario, the Hive, from Outbreak. We aren't done yet with the Outbreak references in this game, so surely we get an Outbreak remake soon, right? Please? So we can't get into RPD, so the only option is to head into Kendos, and if you remember in RE2, Jill left a note for Kendo and she's good friends with him, unlike Leon.
Taboo! Shit, Jill!
Kendo, you're alright.
Yeah, all right's a stretch. Sorry, I got a little jumpy there. Didn't know quite what to expect.
No shit. Look, we're using the subway to get people out of town. You in?
Subway. Well, that's good thinking.
When we get out, there's gonna be a lot to do. We could use a man of your skill set. What's wrong?
Nothing. Just bad timing is all. Yeah. Look, don't worry about me. I'm gonna make other arrangements, okay?
You better. You're the best gunsmith around.
Oh, no.
Don't do anything stupid.
Oh, that's your job, right? Take care, Jill.
If you're heading to the station, take that service alley out in front of the shop, okay? The key's hanging on the wall.
So at this point, it's clear his daughter Emma has already been infected. Kendo tells us to take the service alley out front, the same path Claire takes in RE2. And quickly, if we head back to the door that Kendo went through, we can hear him talking to Emma through the wall.
Alright. That's a good girl.
Breaks my heart, man. So where Claire goes up the stairs to the right, we're going to the left and we end up in a house. Upstairs is a Raccoon Times reader column which reads, "Dear Editor, I am writing to you because I am troubled, deeply troubled. Anyone who's been a parent knows that the Crystal Promenade is the place to take your kids for a trip downtown on Saturdays, and there's no store more popular or harder on a parent's wallet than Toy Uncle. However, I've noticed on windy days the big statue above the entrance wobbles like the only thing holding it up is a couple of screws. If the statue's head tumbles on a busy day, children will be badly hurt. I've complained to the manager 3 times now, but he just isn't willing to rectify the situation. Are we supposed to wait for a terrible accident to happen before taking action? No. If heads are going to roll, then let it be the manager's. Take that death trap down." Well, hint hint. We find some more grenade rounds and move forward once more.
Rocket launcher? Really?
Yes, he threw his flamethrower at her and picked up a rocket launcher. Nemmy just doesn't stay down. I'll explain all of that soon, I promise. So now we need to mad dash through the street with Nemmy sprinting behind us, shooting us with a rocket launcher.
That monster's on my ass again.
Are you shitting me? I thought you killed it.
Me too.
Towards the station.
And lead him right to you?
It's okay. Trust me.
Anything for you, Carlos. So we head back towards the train station, and just mentioned moments before, there's the toy uncle statue. Of course, Nemmy is still in pursuit, hearing his heavy-ass goth boots stomping, so don't look back and just run to Carlos.
Jill, this way!
Okay? Go. Go!
Come on, forget about him!
Come on. Let's get out of here.
Thanks, Carlos. Now, I want to go back to that cutscene real quick after he got hit with the explosive. Take note of how he looks. He's starting to look worse for wear and looking different. Pin that in your head for now.
Carlos, I know we didn't get off to a great start, but thanks for the save.
Hey, you saved my ass first. You're a hell of a lot braver than me.
Well, what matters is that we can get everyone out of the city now.
Yeah, you'll be safe.
What about you?
From the sound of it, I won't be catching the train.
Why not?
No, there'll be new orders. If it means I can help save the city, it's fine by me.
Good work. Your reputation is well deserved. Get inside. The subway's about to leave. Carlos, Tyrell, you have your orders. You need to go back out into the city and find Nathaniel Bart.
This isn't the last ride out of town, right?
Do not worry. Once the civilians are safe, the train will be back.
It's all right. You go on ahead. I'm not gonna die on you, leave you in a cold, cruel, Carlosless world.
Okay.
I quote Cruel Carlos's world far more than I should.
You'll need to find this scientist. His vaccine research could save us all.
You see? You're learning. The only life that matters is your own.
Good luck. Let's go.
don't really think a pencil pusher like Barton is still alive, do you?
I have it on good authority. Why? Are you worried about teammates? Or something else? Funny how brainless zombies can ambush a platoon like that. Funny the gate was locked. Don't you think?
What was that? How is this fucker not dead yet?
No, they're gone. Come, this way.
Nikolai, what are you doing?
It's not after you.
Nikolai!
Get off my train, shitbird!
Rip Mikhail. What cool last words, though. So he was in the middle of talking to Nikolai about how their whole platoon was taken out due to a locked door, obviously accusing Nikolai. And if we watch that scene again, you see him immediately react to Nemesis being on the train, getting behind Jill, and out of Nemmy's tentacle range. He clearly knows more than he's letting on. So for now, we cut to Carlos and Tyrell. They were sent to find Dr. Nathaniel Bard. So Dr. Bard is a biologist working for Umbrella's USA branch. He is the senior scientist who developed a T-virus vaccine. When the city started to fall, he called for the US military to evacuate him, but his request fell on deaf ears. So he then tried to contact the RPD, which we know from RE2 fell very early, so his pleas were eventually picked up by Corporal Carlos Oliveira. With him being the only person to develop the vaccine, he's considered incredibly important, so now we get to play as Carlos trying to track him and the vaccine down.
Oh, it's been a while. Subway's got to be clear of the city by now.
Along with your hot date?
Nah, she's not like that. Hell, she's not like anybody.
Carlos is such a lover boy. Need me a Carlos for real.
All right, keep your head screwed on, Romeo. This is the police station.
You sure? It looks like a cemetery to me.
Brad, stop!
T.
Come on, man. Not you too. Sorry. Sorry. Shit, it's locked.
You stay on the door. I got this fucker. Come get some.
So Brad bit Marvin. I'm a Brad hater for life.
These stars.
Open!
That could be useful.
If you don't enter RPD immediately and head down to the locker room, you can find Brad's poster and Leon's uniform with some fun commentary from Carlos.
Sorry, poster boy. Somebody didn't have time to put his blues on. All right, you want me to keep out? I'll keep out. Now here's a weird fucking door.
Leave it. We're here for Bard.
Where'd that cop go?
Don't know, don't care. We got a job to do. If our intel's still worth a damn, then Bard's in the STARS office. Let's find him and take him into custody.
Custody? I thought this was a rescue.
Carlos, take a look at this. I've located the STARS office. Remember, Bard had access to Umbrella's darkest secrets. He knows we'll try to keep him under our thumbs.
So this search and rescue mission is really more like find and detain. Right. Good to know.
I'll open the shutter so you can get through.
You stay here and find out what's been going on here at the station.
Call you if I find anything. Hey! Be careful.
Yeah. You too, man.
So we head into the RPD. Now remember in the RE2 video, I said to remember those two cops at the end of the hallway? The one with the radio? So here we get to see how they ended up like that.
What the hell was that thing?
It was a liquor all along. At this point, we know our way through RPD pretty well, so we clear a few zombies and pick up some supplies.
Right. Big, warm RPD welcome.
All of the codes and safes are all the exact same codes from RE2. I kinda love that they're the exact same. And in this room as well is the Welcome Leon banner.
Yeah. Welcome, Leon. Bet you had a kick-ass first day.
Holy shit!
Well, if cameras killed those things, I'd be set.
So this is a reference to Fatal Frame, where you use a camera to kill the ghosts coming for you, which we're also getting a Fatal Frame 2 remake soon, so if you want a series on those games, let me know. So heading forward towards the STARS office, we find it's blocked.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why is it blocked?
So we head into the bathrooms. On the bench immediately as we walk in is a note. It says, Hector, if you're reading this, I'm already dead. If you hear noises coming from the locker, do not open it. Please. While you're out on patrol, I focused on finding a way to get to the other side. I realized that explosives might be our best bet. I managed to rig up a pretty good bomb, but we don't have any batteries for the detonator. I'm pretty sure I sent one to the safety deposit room during intake last week. We need that battery if we're gonna knock this wall down, so I headed upstairs to find you since I know you have the safety deposit room key. As soon as I left the shower room, I was attacked. One of them bit me. I washed the wound as soon as I could, but I feel worse and worse. I hope I don't need to spell out why you must not open that locker. Please don't worry about me. Just get yourself out of here as fast as you can. Your buddy, Wes. P.S. Don't worry about that $600 I lent you. Think of it as a gift towards your upcoming move. Good luck, buddy. If only he moved a little bit early, he might have made it out. So we need to find a battery to rig an explosive, and Wes is in the locker. You might remember in RE2, there's a zombie jump scare in this locker. Carlos says this if you try to open it.
Better not.
But Carlos took the note, so Leon and Claire have no idea he's in there. Thanks, Carlos. So looking at the wall in the showers, there's the explosive. We just need to get the battery. We explode that, we can get to the STARS office. On our way, we find a key, fight some more lickers, and thankfully the locker we need doesn't need one of the missing keys from RE2. Here, we can also get a few more items, then work our way back up to the bathrooms. Here as well, if you go back to Tyrell before triggering his voice line, you can go back to him and bug him for a bit more dialogue.
Well, that was fast. Don't tell me you chickened out. Carlos, the STARS office. You going or not? Our intel places Bard in the STARS office. You want me to write it down?
Eventually, he'll say something about a handful of survivors.
Yeah, I had eyes on a handful of survivors. They might be able to tell us about the dock, but they're cut off. Probably looking for a place to hide.
Then I better hurry.
This could be another reference to Outbreak, where in the Desperate Times scenario, Marvin defends the station with a small group of officers and ultimately sacrifices himself so the rest can escape.
Come on!
Hurry!
Move! Go, go, go!
Marvin!
Don't worry about me. Just get going.
No way! I'm not leaving you behind!
Whoa! God!
I don't cry so easily. I'm not the type to lose control of my emotions. Letting your feelings take control doesn't solve anything. All I can do is push those memories as deep inside myself as I can, and wait for them to die.
I'm not dead yet.
Capcom, give me an Outbreak remake. Now. Anyway, back on track, we head back up to the bathrooms.
Gotta move.
So now you know in RE2 where that big hole in this room came from and how the pipe broke. A ton of zombies are in this next room, so we take them out, kill another licker, and finally get into the STARS office.
Dr. Bard.
Oh, thank God. Do you know how long I've been trying to reach somebody?
Don't worry, we're gonna get you out of there. Just tell me where you are.
I'm trapped in a goddamn hospital, surrounded by every kind of abomination. Look, just send in STARS. They're gonna know what to do.
No, negative. RPD's overrun too.
Then figure it out! Umbrella's gone crazy. They're killing all the researchers. I am the only one who knows how to make the vaccine to stop the zombies. So you can either sit there with your dick in your hand or send somebody who's capable of getting me the hell out of here.
I like him already.
Yeah, you would. You heard what he said. We can't turn him over to the company.
That's not our call to make. That's Mikhail's call. I'm gonna check the computer, see if I can trace the doc's location.
Dr. Bard's such a jerk. And that was Jill's computer Carlos was using, by the way. They're so cute. If we go into Wesker's room, there's a report on the desk outlining the mentioned incident, but also showing it was rejected, likely from Irons. We can also find the STARS team photo.
Is that Jill in the front row?
Carlos fell so hard.
Yeah, what's up? Derailed. Was anyone hurt?
Jill?
Ah, shit. Wait, what? Jill! Jill, what happened? Jill, come in! T, I gotta go.
Do what you gotta. I'll take care of Bard.
So we're back as Jill after the crash, and we're somewhere underground on the outskirts of Raccoon City.
Carlos? Come in. Carlos? Damn it. I guess I'm out of range.
In here, we find a UBCS weaponry notice. Here it talks about mine rounds developed from Umbrella's military research and development team. It says to fire it at walls or on the ground and the mine will stay where it lands, then explode when anything touches it, landmine style. And good for us, there's a ton of them in this room. After collecting them and moving on through the underground, we take out a small amount of zombies and find a way up.
Still alive. I can't stay here.
That he is. Nemmy just doesn't stay down. Looking around the streets, here we find some items and a brochure about the clock tower. Now, in the OG Resi 3, the clock tower was such an iconic location and we never get it in the remake, and a lot of people were pissed about it. I myself was looking forward to the clock tower and the park locations. I was expecting them to be like super dark and moody, setting that horror atmosphere like the station in the RE2 remake, but unfortunately neither of those locations appeared in the RE3 remake. I mentioned earlier a lot of content was cut out. There is a good scene in the clock tower that I'm going to show you since we don't get it anyway. God, it would have been so incredible in the remake.
We're saved. Down here! It's finally over. Huh?
The fake out's so funny. I'm so upset we didn't get it. Anyway, instead of a whole location, we get a brochure, and it reads, St. Michael's Clock Tower is a Baroque-style building which stands at the heart of Raccoon City. It has become a beloved icon, and residents consider it to be emblematic of the city as a whole. St. Michael's Church erected its tower in 1908 with the assistance of several philanthropists. It was dedicated to the children being born in a developing city, and the first floor was used as an elementary school for many years. The city saw further growth during its electrification over the course of the early 20th century, and the student body of St. Michael's Elementary School swelled to over 600 students. Unfortunately, St. Michael's Elementary was shuttered in 1978 as the building began to show signs of age and wear. The clock was deactivated and strict limitations were placed on entry to the surrounding premises. Years passed with this once beloved monument and the public plaza on lockdown, but in the 1990s, the Umbrella Corporation worked in league with Mayor Michael Warren to renovate and reopen the area, this time with proper preservation efforts in place. The clock tower was officially reopened in 1993, and today the sound of its heavy tolling bells can once again be heard throughout Raccoon City. So big lore drop instead of an area. Sure. Moving on, the only way forward is to cross the bridge.
Bitch can't even swim.
Easily the funniest line in this whole game.
Carlos, respond.
Yeah, what's up?
We didn't make it. The train derailed.
Derailed? Was anyone hurt?
No, everybody's dead. Mikhail, everybody.
Ah, shit.
Nikolai left us to die.
Wait, what?
What the fuck? Get back!
Jill! Jill, what happened? Jill, come in!
Now, seeing Nemmy looking like this, it's very different to how it's been this whole game. I didn't want to spoil a lot of the things about Nemmy, especially the way he transforms right at the start of the game, but I think now is a good time to do a big Nemmy deep dive to make this make a bit more sense. So the Nemesis T-Type was a series of experimental BOWs from the European branch, the same branch I mentioned earlier with the Hunter Gammas. Throughout this series, I've explained a lot of the T-Virus experiments and how many of them were deemed a failure due to not having the mental capacity to be used or controlled as a weapon, so the Nemesis Alpha parasite was created to solve that major flaw. The European branch engineered a parasite as a workaround for the brain damage and mental decline experiments experienced as a result of being infected with the T-virus. In successful experiments adding the Nemesis Alpha parasite, it would bring almost human-level intelligence and self-awareness into the host. So, if you're going to make a weapon highly intelligent, but you need the strength to match, the best choice would be a Tyrant T-103. So Umbrella mass-produced the T-103. So Mr. X and Nemesis are not the same being in these games. The T-103 is the base model, and numerous experiments were developed from clones of that model, which includes the Nemesis Alpha parasite experiment, resulting in Nemesis. The question always comes up if numerous Nemesises were made. Some people say 4 of them were made, but there's not a lot of official sources over it. Then comes in the argument of if it's not in the game, it's not canon crowd. Regardless, this is the only Nemesis we know of, but with Red Umbrella coming back in RE9, maybe we get some clones of the classic enemies. I'd be ecstatic to see a new Nemmy come back. Anyway, let's get back to our Nemmy. So this Nemmy was nicknamed the Pursuer, for obvious reasons. When Umbrella found out about the outbreak in Raccoon City, they took full advantage of the crisis and sent in Nemesis. You can actually see in the intro, that's Nemmy in that container being flown in. Also, right at the beginning of the game, you can actually see his container cracked open.
This logo. I should have remembered.
So Nemesis was shown photos of the remaining STARS members and ordered to take them out, while of course, recording all of the combat data to verify their reliability as military products for eventual sale. But there's still the question of why he now looks like this. The original T-103s we know were already incredibly strong and resilient, so adding on the Nemesis Alpha parasite, it's even further strengthened to the point that conventional weapons are incapable of injuring him. Only heavy weapons like rockets and explosives can injure it, but if it is injured, it can regenerate at incredible rates. The body will secrete chemicals to regenerate and make it even stronger. However, this results in further and further mutation. Remember earlier I mentioned how we looked after Carlos hit him with the explosive? His arms were bigger, but kind of in like a gross way. His bindings have been torn off and he's starting to mutate. So the more Nemesis is injured, the further it mutates. In the original, Nemesis didn't have a power limiter, but it was meant to be protected by his thick coat, trying to negate damage to essentially stop him from mutating, which is really not a good plan for something that could do a lot of damage if it mutates wildly out of control. Like, the plan is a jacket. That's it. Okay. So in the remake, he does have similar bindings that are doing a degree of protection and containment, but this brings in the topic of a limiter. In the opening, we can see the Umbrella researchers working on this device, which is on the chest of Nemmy. People argue if this is his heart, or if this is where the parasite is held, or if it's a power limiter. I'm on the team of this is now his power limiter, but also the device that controls him. The T-103 doesn't have it, but it also doesn't have the parasite. So Umbrella needs something to control and limit it. It's an intelligent weapon. Without a control device, the parasite would take over and he would mutate beyond control. Almost like what just happened, turning him into the Stage 2. So remember, right before this, Mikhail set off an explosive on the train. This exploded right in front of his limiter, so after serious explosive and fire damage, his bindings have been damaged and presumably his limiter too. Adding all that with how much he just regenerated, he started to mutate wildly out of control into what he is currently, the Stage 2. Or affectionately nicknamed Nemmy Dog, since he's now on all fours. You can see it in its behavior too, where before Nemmy seemed very precise and calculating. Now he's much more feral, which leads me to believe the mechanism on the chest is also the control device, which is now broken. So going back to the fight, Nemmy is roaring and running all around the place, but thankfully for us, we have the nade launcher. So while he's on the ground, the best tactic is to just shoot fire at him and try and do as much damage as we can without being hit. After some time, he lets out a roar and starts running around the outer walls. When he's up here, he is incredibly fast and hard to hit. This also gives him the opportunity to get up on top of the clock tower and jump down at us. He can also run to places we can't hit him and dash forward at incredible speeds. The best tactic is to not let him get up to a spot like that, which is where the mine rounds come into play. Since it is a landmine, it does heavy damage and stuns him for some time, where it looks like the parasite comes out of his chest. A weak point. We repeat exploding him off the wall and shooting his weak point till he finally goes down.
Right, let's do this. Suck it! Carlos, you still there? Oh, come on, you're gonna crap out on me now? God damn it.
With Nemmy finally on the ground, we grab some items around the stage and move on.
Interest. You've done me a big favor, miss.
Yes, Jill is infected with the T-virus. Her biggest fear.
Jill! Hey, answer me. God damn it. Tyrell, do you copy?
What's going on?
Jill's been infected. I'm taking her to the hospital. Maybe Dr. Bard can save her.
All right, I'll meet you there.
You hang in there, Super Cop. I got you. Fight it, Jill. I'm gonna get you the vaccine. You're gonna be okay. I promise.
So it's now September 29th, 9:20 p.m. It's around this time that Leon and Claire are now within Raccoon City. So Carlos was in the RPD the same day as them, where he was there at 2:30 a.m. Claire and Leon get there in the evening. So Jill is entirely incapacitated with the virus slowly taking over. So now we play as Carlos in a desperate attempt to find Dr. Bard and get the vaccine.
Tyrell, where's Bard now?
Gotta be the lab in the back. Stay frosty, I'm on my way.
Copy. I'll go on ahead.
Entering the hospital, there's signs of trouble. We see blood on the floor and turn the corner to see a zombie. The hospital is also infested with zombies. After taking out a good chunk of them, we find Dr. Bard's office reception.
Welcome to the office of Dr. Nathaniel Bard. Please state your business clearly into the intercom.
On the table, we find a voice recorder and a nurse's report on September 25th, the day before the mass infection started. It reads, "Every day they bring in more of these mystery illness patients. The sedatives don't stop their delirium, so we just have to put them in straitjackets and move them to the isolation wing. Problem is, the isolation wing is already bursting at the seams. The directors told us to admit anyone with symptoms free of charge. But what does he expect us to do? Wish them better? We don't have a cure. And that's not all that's bothering me. When the patients die, they're not collected by the usual mortuary teams. We've been told it's special handling to prevent the illness from spreading, but I'm not sure I buy it. Miranda saw some guys wheeling a body through the forbidden door during the night. Why? Where? What's going on?"
Dr. Bard, are you in there? I'm here to rescue you. Open the door.
No voice match found.
Voice match? What kind of sci-fi bullshit is this?
Finding we need to get a voice match and finding a voice recorder, it's time to go find a tape. Moving forward, we find even more zombies in front of an operating room which needs a special keycard to get into. Moving our way to the top floor, we find even more zombies. This place is a little maze-like, but ultimately not too difficult once you play through it once or twice. In one of the safe rooms upstairs, we find another nurse journal. This one is set September 27th, the day before the game takes place. It says, "Admitted over 20 mystery illness patients. Patients in the isolation wing exhibit severe limb necrosis, fever, muttering delirium, and signs of hyperplasia. Possible infection? Tried every antiseptic. Still no blood work back from the research wing. Ask again. Dr. Young was bitten while treating one of the patients. We've disinfected the wound, but his fever won't go down. Nothing works. Meanwhile, the outpatient wing is complete anarchy. The patients are delirious and growing more violent by the minute. We've called our off-duty staff. It's all hands on deck now. We've got to contain the chaos." Heading further down the hall, we enter a room just covered in blood. The doors are open, letting us see far into the room with more and more blood the further we look. The walls have massive claw marks and there are bodies of hospital workers everywhere. There is one final nurse's report on the desk set on the 29th, the same day. It reads, "We tried. I swear to God we did. But there's nothing else to be done. The chaos is completely beyond control. Victims are pouring in now, dying and spreading the infection faster than we can reach them, so we've given up trying. Those of us who aren't infected have barricaded ourselves in here. We can hear the cries for help outside, the screaming, but none of us will go out there, because it'd be the end of us. I can't believe we've abandoned our patients. It's the worst sin imaginable for a nurse. I can't stop shaking. I want to live. I want to live." 9 p.m. We heard a helicopter flying over and immediately started crying and hugging each other, thinking a rescue team was on the way, but the sounds grew silent, and all we're left with now is the moans of the dead and silent screams in our hearts. We're all about to lose our minds. Dr. Young, Ariana, Miranda, Dakota, I'm so sorry I failed you. Something's coming. Help me. With this note saying it was 9 p.m, this horrific scene just happened around 20-30 minutes ago, which means we just missed out on saving these people's lives, but that also means whatever did this could still be here. On the wall is a note from administration. It says that ID cards must stay on property and be stored in personal lockers. However, the key to the locker room was lost in the courtyard, so off to find the key to then get the key card. Backtracking downstairs, we find the key and head back up. Along the way, we find a note about a tape recording. It says, "Dakota, I think I know what happened to the missing tape of Dr. B. His research assistant took it. One of my patients saw Abbott remove something from a locker in the nurse's station and walk towards the treatment room. I'll try to sneak in and look during the night shift. You just stay cool and keep doing your job." I don't care how important Dr. B is to the medical community. That kind of harassment is not okay. I promise I won't let them destroy the evidence. He's a pig and an asshole, and he will get his day in court. Stay brave, stay strong. A friend. So that's the recording of his voice we need, but also reveals not only was he a jerk to us, he's horrific to the people who worked for him. So we clear more zombies and head back to the locker rooms with the key now. Searching all the lockers we can, we find some gear, a body, and an ID tag to get into the remaining rooms. Having the ID now, we head back into the main halls. These delightful things, if you don't remember them, are the Hunter Alphas. These things from RE1 and 0. That red POV is a callback to the original RE1 Hunters where we saw their POV before they attacked Chris. I lost my mind when I saw the POV movement in the 3 remake. I thought the scratches on the wall were gonna be like lickers or something. So when I saw the Hunter, I was like, I'd rather the liquor. Hunters traumatized me for real. But we now know what took out these people. Goddamn Hunters.
Jesus Christ.
Working our way into the treatment room for the recorder, we can see through the windows 2 more Hunters, with one of them actively killing someone. After taking out the 2 Hunters, which it's easier to just slightly push the door open and drop in a nade unless you're trying to get rid of excessive ammo, we find the cassette on the table. Now with Dr. Bard's voice, we can open the voice-locked door. Of course, not without running into even more Hunters. Just feed them a few nades as a snack and we can move on. On our way back, the glass doors give and more zombies pile in. We take them out before heading into the previously locked operating room. This room is full of stuff, so we restock all of our ammo. Sus. There's another note in this room which gives us the code to a safe upstairs in the nurse's station. It's a dual magazine for the assault rifle, which you might want if all the stuff in this room's not a big enough hint. Heading back to Dr. Bard's door, we play the tape.
All I wanted to know was what the documents were doing in your office in the first place.
Who do you think you're talking to? I'm goddamn Nathaniel Bard. I'm the best biologist you'll ever meet, you bedpan-changing waste of a nursing degree.
Of course.
He's pleasant as always and doesn't deserve to talk, so we just enter in.
Bard. Tyrell. Bard's dead. He's been shot.
Shit. And the vaccine?
I'm looking.
Well, look harder. There's gotta be a computer, right?
So Dr. Bard was assassinated right before we got here. On a table behind him, covered in his blood, is a banquet invitation. It reads, "Dear Dr. Bard, it is my pleasure to cordially invite you to a banquet on September 10th at the Central Hotel, where we will be exchanging viewpoints on Raccoon City's new special medical zone. Attending will be Mayor Michael Warren, Police Chief Brian Irons, and other distinguished members of our community. We'll be honored if you join us. Sincerely, Greg Tester, United States Senator." And handwritten after that says, "Nate, I'll be introducing the bill for that new drug of yours in mid-August. Bring the cash. We've booked a suite for the usual after party. You're a brunette guy, right? I'll let Irons know." So now you know why I'm probably talking with a little bit of disdain in my voice when it comes to Dr. Bard. Anyone who's close to Irons and whatever sick stuff he likes to get up to, yuck. Finally, in his lab is a computer that's still on. We can read an email to the same Greg Tester from the banquet invitation. It reads, "To Greg, reply immediately. Greg, I know you're watching the news. This virus is going to devour the whole country. The dead will wash over Capitol Hill like a tidal wave. You're not safe. However, you've always been a good friend to me, so I'd like to offer you a way out. I have in my possession 1 dose of the vaccine for the virus, the Holy Grail. It's not for my family, not for my ladies on the side, No, Greg, I'm saving it for you. I know better than anyone that you're the future of the United States, but if you want the goods, Greg, you have to get me the hell out of here. Now, without Umbrella finding out. Lean on the Pentagon for me. I know you've got the clout. See if someone can get the rescue team in here without UBCS involvement. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Which should sound pretty chaste after the parties we've been to. Hurry, my time is running out. Nate. Ugh, I hate having to read about the gross stuff these horrible people got up to. But at least we know he's got a single vaccine around here somewhere.
This is VRC Chief Nathaniel Bard, September 29, 11 p.m. I am acutely aware that my time's running out. And I hope and pray, by making this recording and bringing the truth to light, that I can restore some small shred of honor to my name. All of Raccoon City's suffering began with the release of a biological weapon known as the T-virus. My employer, the Umbrella Corporation, engineered this virus, and they ordered my team to develop a vaccine, which we did. Now, I keep samples of this vaccine here in my office. The rest of it is stored underground. But those sons of bitches at the board, they want to destroy it. They don't want the world to know what they've done. So they're trying to erase all evidence that the virus ever existed. Now, I'm not a fool. I know they don't want me to...
Jill knew all along. And she trusted me anyway. Fuck!
Entering the next room, there is a single glowing vaccine.
All right, Jill. Hang tight. T, I got it.
Good. I'm headed your way.
Be careful.
Careful? Have you seen this town? It'll be a fucking miracle if I get there in one piece.
Leaving the room, we get chased down by more hunters. If you can spare the ammo, kill it, but you can easily just run from it too. Hurrying back to Jill, we give her the vaccine.
You're gonna be okay, Jill. Better work. Tyrell, what the hell happened?
Attention all citizens. The contagion spreading throughout the city has been designated uncontainable. On October 1st, Raccoon City will be completely destroyed in a missile strike. All residents capable of rational thought are urged to evacuate immediately. This is not a test. Attention all citizens.
I mean, that's only a day away. There's still people in the city.
You think Uncle Sam gives a shit? Fuck. Here they come.
You sit tight. I got this. Better grab some gear. Sounds like there's a lot of them out there.
So the TV a moment ago said it was now September 30th. Jill has been out cold for a whole day, but the dawn of the 30th is also when Leon and Claire escaped the city. That's why they never heard anything about the city to be blown up by the missile strike. Leon and Claire get in and out in the time that Jill has been out cold. With Tyrell injured and a wave of zombies coming in, we prepare for a full assault to protect them till Jill wakes up.
I'm gonna try to lower the window shutters. The less entry points, the better.
And how do we do that?
I'll try hacking into the hospital security system. Keep them off me in the meantime.
so we just need to survive the timer. Grab the detonator early, stay behind the counter, and just fight. Waves will come through the windows, so use the generator to stun everything around if you get overwhelmed. Killing the zombies as they come through the window in that animation lock is the best time to get rid of them before they stand up. After some time and killing a ton of zombies, the power goes out.
Oh, come on.
So a hunter enters the room from behind us and we can slip past them, feed another nade snack, grab some stuff, and turn the power back on. Continuing to take out the remaining few waves of zombies coming in, it's over when the shutters fully close. So if we want a time window of how long we have left, just look at the windows. Now this is why we grab the detonator first, because now we can just place it, step back, and survive for 30 more seconds.
Not even close. But at least it's over. I'm coming back.
Vaccine's the real deal.
Good.
You going somewhere?
You're damn right.
What do you think you're gonna do? Whole city's about to be microwaved.
Come on, man. Call the government. Tell them we found a cure. You stall for time.
Ballsy motherfucker.
Jill. Thank God you're okay. I've got good news. It's over now. The city's safe.
Jill. It's the only way.
Even in her nightmares, she couldn't kill him. I love them so much.
Where am I? What's going on? Oh.
Attention all citizens. The missile strike on Raccoon City will occur in just hours. The payload is designed to eradicate all biological material. You will not survive if you remain in the city.
October 1st.
Evacuate now. Repeat.
No.
Evacuate now.
Can't be.
So with the TV date, it is now October 1st. We pick up a nearby handgun and run off to find Carlos and a way out of here before the missile strike.
Morning, sunshine.
You saved my life.
I sure as shit didn't. That was all Carlos. He carried you here and he treated you himself. Crazy bastard.
Where is he?
He went underground. Bard stockpiled the vaccine, enough to give the city some hope.
He thinks he can do this by himself. I'm going after him.
Wait, did you see the broadcast? They're gonna blow the city sky high. I'm trying to get a hold of someone, anyone with the clearance to stop it. Leave this mess to him. He's a professional.
So am I.
Right. Guess I'm not talking you out of this. The storage facility is underground, beneath this hospital. I've lost contact with Carlos, so expect trouble.
So knowing Carlos went underground, there's only one door we didn't get through earlier as him. The forbidden door the nurses were talking about. It's locked with a key, but Jill has the lockpick. There's a number of cases around the hospital too for Jill to unlock with the lockpick if you wish, or you can just beeline underground. However, if we go back to Dr. Bard before we go down, Jill theorizes that Nikolai assassinated Dr. Bard.
This looks like Nikolai's work.
We will get into Nikolai in a bit more shortly. Here we also find the Magnum in the courtyard, so if it's a new run, grab that first. You'll need it.
Guaranteed to give you a headache.
Other than that, the hospital isn't that much different, so we pick the lock and head down underground. So we end up in what looks like a loading bay of some kind with a vehicle elevator and head even further down, collecting a lot of stuff on the way.
No one in the hospital ever noticed all this.
I don't know, girl. They probably did and did the whole I don't get paid enough to care, you know? Eventually, we find ourselves in a small room, and in here is a note that talks about an elevator breaking and how it needs fuses from sub-generators to power it. Good to know. Moving forward, we enter a large room, where here we can see nearby is Nikolai. Heading to the elevator to get up to where he is, of course, it breaks.
I must admit, I respect your tenacity. But I'm afraid our games end here.
You think this is over?
So with the power out, we head off looking for the fuses we were told about from the note previously. This gross thing is a palehead. So paleheads are a result of human mutation to the Epsilon strain, which came from the T-virus. Unlike those infected with just the T-virus, the Epsilon strain will suffer a second set of mutations. We saw this with the Crimson Heads in RE1, where the secondary mutation was activated by serious injury. Unfortunately, with the paleheads, we don't know what causes the secondary mutation, as they were actively being researched before they could reliably produce more of them. Irons was directly involved in the research of these, as he was called in to assist in the transportation of abducted humans to serve as test subjects for them. What we do know for sure is these things have incredible regeneration aspects and speed. Because they regenerate, they're resistant to standard weapons, so best to pop them with the Magnum or the Shotty. That's why I said make sure you pick it up. This place is a little bit of a maze, going up and down with elevators to unlock new paths. So after killing a ton of zombies, Cerberuses, Paleheads, Hunters, Hunter-Gammas, and Nemesis Parasite zombies, we finally get all of the fuses to power the elevator. It's a party of virus infection down here.
Shit, he got away. What was he doing in here?
So Nikolai has left, but he left an unfinished activity log open. It reads, September 26th, 1300 hours, infiltrated RC, disturbances are sporadic, commencing mission, 1930. Observed 5 RPD officers engaging a pack 20 strong, officers annihilated in 20 minutes. 27th of September, 1200 hours. Test run at university, diverted pack including canines to campus, 64% infection and conversion in 2 hours, no survivors, 2300 hours, successful rendezvous with MV platoon, will make first attempt at dawn, September 28th, 0430, diverted pack towards command post, result night skirmish on confined area with large number of combatants, video attached. 0800 hours, end of skirmish, 7 survivors. 1800 hours. Unknown bioweapon deployed at point D18, tracking it per orders, it appears to be on the hunt. 2000 hours. got eyes on 2 stars, a male infected and female. Bioweapon is pursuing the female. September 29th, 0,000 hours. A female JV has made contact with MV Platoon. Bioweapon's appearance and behavior are consistent with Project N, investigating. 0400 hours. Observed bioweapon wielding conventional weapons. It seems to be strongly fixated on terminating JV and knows the city layout. Evidence it can be imprinted. 0700 hours. Metamorphosis in the bioweapon triggered by a hostile encounter with JV. Video attached. JV has been infected and is non-responsive. Collected samples per orders. September 30th. 030 hours. Over 17 hours have elapsed since JV's exposure to the virus. Conversion may be slow, suggesting she may be resistant. 0400 hours. Vaccine recovered and administered to JV by CO, a soldier in MV Platoon. JV expected to be fit for combat approximately 20 hours post-exposure. It seems clear the bioweapon is Project N. Contact with JV causes it to change and evolve, will induce further encounters to obtain more precise data. So Nikolai has been watching Jill. Mikhail's suspicion on him earlier was dead on. So Nikolai is what we call a monitor. They work for an internal umbrella and are placed to monitor suspicious activities amongst umbrella employees. Nikolai was ordered to rescue key Umbrella personnel, destroy incriminating materials, including the assassination of Dr. Bard, and collect combat data from bioweapon such as Project Nemesis, and further spreading of the virus to survivors for data. Imagine the pure amount of damage Nikolai did solo, after watching 20 officers get annihilated, to sending Cerberuses to survivors at the university, to almost wiping the whole UBCS platoon. This guy sucks.
Joe.
Tyrell.
I got through. They're willing to negotiate. They'll call off the strike if, and this is one big-ass if, we can deliver the vaccine to them. Before they launch.
How long do we have?
Hours. Maybe.
Then let's not waste one more second.
This way.
So we head off with Tyrell to get the vaccines.
We'll find the vaccine up ahead.
Sure you don't need to stop?
Stop and do what? I got your back.
All right. Let's get this done.
Tyrell!
Now! Keep going. We're almost there. No!
No!
R.I.P. Tyrell. I really liked him too. So Nemmy's down here now as well, and he's looking extra pissed. So we move on and welcome to Nest 2. And before you ask, yes, it is connected to the main nest from RE2. Though physically connected, they focus on 2 very different things. So while the main nest facility focuses on the G and the T virus, Nest 2 is an offshoot facility and focuses on countermeasures like the vaccine and anti-bioweapon systems. They are doing research into these things as a means of control. If you sell the bioweapon to one country, you can sell the solution to another. Classic human greed. It's also a good idea to have countermeasures in case it's ever used against you. So yes, same place theoretically, different wing. Though, much like the main facility, seeing blood on the walls and bodies on the floor, it looks like Nest 2 isn't faring any better than the main nest.
To begin vaccine synthesis, place the materials in the chamber.
Synthesis? I have to make it myself? Alright, gotta figure this out.
Can't ever be that easy, huh? So nearby is an essay on the vaccine from Dr. Bard. It says, to most efficiently synthesize a vaccine, both an antigen and an adjuvant are required. The antigen provides an immune response, while the adjuvant increases the effect of such responses, leading to an increased antibody production. By combining samples of these two ingredients, one can create a potent vaccine base. In this same room, we find an override key.
Override key successfully generated.
What have we here?
Override key removed.
So now we know what we're looking for, an antigen and an adjuvant, and we have the override key, so now we can head further into Nest. Of course, we run into a few zombies, and on the body of one of them is Isaac Graves' diary. It reads, "The pay was generous and the benefits were good. Most importantly, they promised me I'd be contributing to state-of-the-art medical research. For a university teacher stuck working in nowhere America, it was a golden opportunity, like winning the lottery. So I went for it. Well, hindsight is 2020, because this lab is a den of monsters who conduct cruel and barbaric experiments for the sole purpose of taking human life in the most sickening way possible. It's messed up. The world needs to know. But every time I work up enough courage to blow the whistle, I think of Penny and Casey and immediately chicken out. Umbrella owns this town. There was this guy they caught trying to smuggle out company secrets. They essentially fed him to one of the betas. Fed him. I saw the whole thing. I got my wife and daughter into this. I just need to do my job. Do as I'm told, for their sake. But let this be a testament that I do have a conscience and that I've learned my lesson." So that's a bit of an explanation as to why people would work for Umbrella. They would often target people in bad situations with families. People are easy to control. It's sad, really. So, we take him out and we move on. Using the override key, we unlock another section of the lab, and this area is full of pale heads. You can take them out if we want, or we just dodge them and move through. In the same room, we find a shipping notice. It reads, "Cargo Nemesis. All transit with the United States is to be made via helicopter, taking extreme care during takeoff and landing, as shock to the parcel may potentially lead to self-activation. We here at the European branch are excited to hear your thoughts and evaluation on this newest prototype, and are pleased to offer this specimen for your testing. It has been through numerous trials and possesses incredibly destructive power, so please exercise extreme caution when using it. Lead developer, Dr. Herman Frankel." Imagine they just landed a bit hard and activated him in an Umbrella facility. That'd be a fun game. So up the stairs in the next room, we find another body with a note on it. It reads, "It happened. Our worst case scenario. The T-virus has somehow leaked. Unless orders from Dr. Bard, I'm to manufacture mass quantities of the vaccine. I prepared a culture of the T-virus antigen. Now I just need to combine it with an adjuvant to enhance its effects, and I should be able to produce enough vaccine to save all the surviving citizens. The adjuvant samples are stored in the incubation lab. Test subjects are already wandering around the halls, but I better find a way to get some samples while this culture is maturing. If I don't make it back, please complete the synthesis progress. Try to find a way to stop the outbreak. It's the least we can do after setting these horrifying events into motion." So incubation lab we go. I really like all these notes showing the humanity in people. I think this game in particular does a really good job on setting the mood on like people's last words, if that makes sense. Like how like they're either trying to do one last helpful thing or showing how much hope they either still have or have lost. Like that thing earlier with that guy in RPD being like, "Oh, don't worry about the $600, it's a moving gift." Like the chance of his friend getting out is incredibly low, but he still had hope. Like, this game gets a lot of flack in the fandom, but I do think the notes in this one are particularly really well done, and they deserve some recognition. Anyway, incubation lab we go. So we come across a huge door and it's not powered, but luckily for us, the thing that powers it is right behind us, so we plug the big thing in and go through the door. Yes, this room is full of Tyrant and Hunter clones. Nothing will go wrong in this room for sure.
These are Tyrants. Jesus. Is this where they're made?
So taking the elevator up, we pop a ton more zombies and can finally get into the incubation room. Here we find the adjuvant sample and a note calling for a letter of concern. It reads, "Senior Fellow Dr. Frankel, please allow me to send my heartfelt congratulations to you and your colleagues at Umbrella Europe for completing Nemesis, a truly remarkable achievement in the field of bioweapons research. Introducing a parasitic organism into a tyrant's brain to gain external control of it? How can I not marvel at such a wild idea? However, from a medical perspective, I must empathetically state my disapproval of this shift away from established Umbrella policy. By turning to the use of parasites, you are setting a dangerous precedent. Viruses can be kept in check. I believe an effective vaccine can be developed for any virus on Earth with abundant funding and a bounty of samples, of course. Can you say the same for parasites, however? Doctors have tried in vain to develop a vaccine for malaria. Parasites like Plasmodium are far more genetically complex than the T-virus, and to think they will submit to control is utter folly. Perhaps in your country, consumers are willing to buy automobiles with no brakes, but here in America, they know better. Then again, I recall you have a degree in economics, so no doubt you've already devised a brilliant marketing strategy to win over the naysayers. I look forward to your talk at the forum in Berlin next month. In the meantime, I shall be exploring medical solution to this hubristic problem you've foisted on us. Sincerely, Nathaniel Bard, PhD.
So it's called the Nemesis.
Oh, the girlies are fighting! So now with the sample, we head back into the test tube filled room and, well, we knew that was coming. Feed them some nades to snack on while dodging their attacks, and the lightning hawk always helps. Once they're dead, the room will unlock. On our way back into the room near the Paleheads, we find another lab with a note explaining that the lab is requesting high-powered weaponry to deal with the Paleheads in case of an emergency. Which is kind of a late note to explain how to kill the Paleheads after we've already killed like 20 of them. Anyway, we pop the zombies and grab the antigen. Now we need to head back to the first room to synthesize them together. It needs to be perfectly in the middle to mix evenly, so mid, high, then low, and boom, success. Vaccine.
Synthesizing vaccine.
Yes.
Synthesis complete. Please remove the vaccine canister.
I love that he waited patiently for us to synthesize it first. Thanks, Nemmy. The only way out of here is a small vent to crawl through. I sure hope there's no Nemmy on the other side. So once more, that is a massive amount of damage to Nemesis. And this room has a suspicious amount of stuff in it. Remember when I said he gets worse and worse the amount of damage done to him?
What in God's name is this place?
If that's not the most boss fight arena I've ever seen, I don't know what is.
Nikolai, don't! The city needs that vaccine!
More than I do. I don't think the wisdom I've been trying to impart on you is getting through. Now I know you can't put a price on life. But I'm in this business to get paid. So let's make a deal. You go down there, battle the Nemesis, and I'll recall it all and sell the combat data. Put on a good show, and maybe I don't need the vaccine. Agreed? Good.
So another Nemesis fight. In this fight, unlike the clock tower, he is quick. Getting used to that dodge is your best friend, especially now that he has a full ranged weapon.
Jill, is that you?
Carlos?
You're okay. Let me spot for you.
Good idea.
Carlos, my boy! So that electricity is a hint. Remember, we know electricity is very effective in stunning Nemesis. So Nemmy will run around the rim of the arena, and if we lose sight of him, Carlos will let us know which tank he's on. Hitting the red button in the front will electrocute him, but we need to be careful because this area is also full of zombies coming in too. So best to pop the zombies while Nemmy's running around. Then we stun him, and once he's stopped, we just lay ammunition into him. You'll see Carlos has a giant claw that will help us in taking him down too. After a bit, Nemmy enters his whip phase. This is good practice for dodgers. Best to get used to this now if you plan on doing any Infernal difficulty runs. Trust. After enough damage, Nemmy eventually goes down.
Jill! Here comes a crane. Use it to climb up.
Come on. Come on!
Jill, get back! Now get on! I'm gonna melt this fucker into mush. Okay, I'll meet you up ahead.
Now that's acid. Physically melted him. Damn, Carlos.
Nikolai, where did you go? I have to get that vaccine back.
Nikolai time. Now this is the last save, so we need to make sure we're prepared and handy enough in this room there is another note. It's a weapon spec sheet. It says, infantry use next generation railgun. Project objective, suppression of new bioweapons in case of outbreak. Extreme firepower provides the secondary benefit of completely obliterating the target, leaving no trace behind. Codename, Finger. User feedback. This thing is totally rad. Tyrant's out of line, just give him the finger and problem solved. Packs the punch we need. It would be even better if there was a way to control the output. Mobility may prove to be problematic in the field. Perhaps its platform could be refined. It requires multiple power sources, may be difficult to secure in practice. Could you consolidate to a single power source? Well then, Nikolai versus Railgun, anyone? So we head on out of this room.
It's done. Give me the vaccine, you greedy son of a bitch.
No. You bring money. I like money. We shall make ours an ongoing arrangement. Now drop the gun!
Ah, kidding. I did a classic Swii move. I didn't say Nemmy was dead.
Have you ever seen anything so incredible? The data on this would be worth millions. But, you know how it is. City's about to explode, and you can't put a price on life. Good luck!
Nikolai!
Jill!
Go after Nikolai! He's got the vaccine!
What about you?
We're running out of time. I've got this.
I know you do.
Look, just so you know, this is the last fucking time.
So welcome to Nemesis Stage 3. Now this thing on Inferno difficulty is... my god. The whole game's fine, and then you suddenly have a Dark Souls boss where you can't mess up a single dodge, or you get the slaps of death. And I mean slaps of death. Don't. I was so close. But thankfully, we aren't doing it on Infernal here, so let's kill him.
Opening compartment.
Now
Cooldown in progress. Please reactivate power sources.
damn, it needs power.
Unfortunately for us, he's mutated so far that one shot isn't enough. To the left and right are power sources we need to plug in to charge it. Thankfully, this fight has patterns. Nemmy will do like a drum roll with his arms, so once you see one go down, he'll do 2 or 3 at different speeds depending on difficulty, and they're pretty easy to dodge. As we pop the pustules, it will stun Nemmy. If you save one pustule till you're on the right hand side and time it perfectly, you can push 2 in the time that it takes him to get back up, but you must dodge immediately, because afterwards if Nemmy gets back up and you're on a power source, he will yoink you into an insta-dead. So pop the pustules, push the batteries in, and run back to the railgun. So once the railgun is powered, the animation will save you if he's attacking. So if you're on any difficulty, especially Inferno, and he's about to do the slaps of death, and you're not confident doing the 9-stage dodge, if you have time to get to the gun, do it, it'll save you. But for now, let's jam this goddamn railgun into Nemmy's goddamn teeth.
All power sources activated. Powering
You think I don't know how to fuck you up?
Good riddance.
R.I.P. Nemmy. For real this time. He's dead. He's mush. Editing Swii here. I'm sure some people are gonna ask to see my Nemesis run on Inferno. Thankfully, I killed him on my second go, and yes, I still have the footage. It is the most intense fight in the entire Resident Evil series, in my opinion. So yes, I have it. I will put it after the outro if you want to watch it. It'll be the full fight. So now we need to get the hell out of here. The city is about to be bombed any minute now, and we don't want to be here when it does. So running through the flesh paths, we climb the ladder, and there's one last note on the floor here. It's a suspicious contract memo. It reads, "Contract overview. Received offer from client seeking to use RC Crisis to undermine and claim market share from UC via a prolonged strategy. 1. Sabotage UC attempts to destroy evidence of outbreak to maximize culpability. 2. Induce encounters between UC bioweapons and security forces / law enforcement and collect combat data to ascertain viability of tech. 3. Report deployment of any new bioweapons, including Project N. See specifications. Remuneration exceeds current offer from UC and takes top priority. However, the client has agreed to a grace period between using any of the deliverables, so that the payment from UC may also be collected." Now, if that didn't make much sense, Nikolai is working with an unknown third party who are offering him a bribe for his services. So while he's working for Umbrella and getting paid by them, he's also working for someone else and deliberately sabotaging Umbrella to gain the market share of bioweapon production. There is so much greed. But for now, we need to get the hell out of here. So we head to the elevator and work our way up.
You're not going to stop. Promised you this, didn't I?
No! Do you have any idea what you've just done?
No. Don't care. My client ordered me to reduce Umbrella to rubble.
10 minutes until missile impact.
The missile has launched. And that is my cue. Goodbye, Miss Valentine. Shame you didn't listen to me when you had the chance.
Yeah, get him, Carlos.
It's you! Shoot him!
I can't! I'll hit you!
Do it! You have to! There's no other way.
Carlos!
I told you I couldn't leave you in a Carlos's world. That would just be too cruel. What about him?
Why'd you do it?
There's a price tag for everything. Even letting the world burn.
Who are you working
I'll tell you, if you get me out of here. I'll pay you whatever you want. You're a fool. You're a fool! If I die, you'll never find out the truth.
for? I don't mind a little detective work.
Jill, you all right?
There it is.
Finally over.
So long, RC.
I felt empty and cold as the heat from the blast washed over us. All this death wasn't caused by a monster-making virus. It was greed. Human greed. I decided then and there, the ashes of Raccoon City would be Umbrella's ashes too. I would end them, once and for all.
That helicopter should have crashed, let's be real. But so long, RC. We have one final end credit scene though. Whose house is she at? No clue. So that is the end of the Raccoon City incident, at least this section of it anyway. There's a few more games in the city, like Outbreak 1 and 2, and then the Umbrella Chronicles stuff, and then excitingly coming back over 20 years later with RE9. I'm so excited. I love RE3, it gets a lot of flack, but anything with Jill in it, I love. She's my favorite RE girl. And as painful as it was, that final Nemmy fight on Inferno is actually a bit of a challenge. I kinda loved it. So now choice. Do you want RE4 up next, which is the golden child of Resident Evil games in a lot of people's eyes? That's the one that made Leon Kennedy the icon he is today. Or do you want Code Veronica, which is Claire's game? As long as Code Veronica happens before 5, because Chris in 5 doesn't make a whole lot of sense without Code Veronica. So then maybe 4, then Code Veronica, then 5? Or do you want Code Veronica 4, 5? Let me know. I don't mind either way. For now, these videos take forever to make, and I have been sitting here yapping for 4 hours. So please, if I could beg once more for a like, a subscribe, a comment, maybe about how cool Nemmy is. Let me know what you want next, and we will get right into it. Remember, I love you. Mwah. There's a big kiss. You now have black lipstick smudged on your forehead, and that is a you problem. Meh. Okay, bye! Alright. Volume, by the way, is it at a good level? I might go assault rifle after this. Give it a go. My hands are sweaty. Alright. Barrel roll? That's not a barrel roll. Fuck you.
Felt that, did you?
Acid. 1. I get out of the way for this one. Oh. That's not good. Forward. Yes, I locked him out of it. Because I hit him right as he roared, I locked him out of the acid stun.
Power sources.
Go ahead! I'm gonna put you right.
Do I have time to get 2 of these done here?
Right back on your ass.
What? I dodged that. I dodged that. You'll die if you try to? Hear me out. When you injure him, he goes into that animation. If I know the left is done and I have just the right to go, if I fire and I immediately start pushing, I might have time to get 2 done. You can, but it's borderline impossible timing. Holy fuck, I got so close. Animation saves me. I go to the left. Make him barrel roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hit the left.
Did you?
Shit. I've learnt a lot of this fight is RNG with the acid. 1, 2, 3. Acid, don't get me. Fuck. Now. I might have time. I might have time. That was fast. Jill?
Power sources remaining.
Do I have time?
Go ahead!
She hasn't set her line yet.
Back on your ass.
Dodge.
1 power source remaining.
Get absolutely fucked. He does the sweep. I hit first. Let's fucking go, bitch! Oh, surely. Surely that was perfect. That was actually perfect.
You think I don't know how to fuck you up?
Careful of that arm. Careful of that arm. Animation, save me! No! Oh my god. Oh my god. Did I do it? Fucking die! Die!
Take the fucking hit!